Hello everyone. I thought maybe we could talk about ear infections and diet. It dawned on me that a lot of you don't know we don't feed the Farmina for the origin anymore. So if you got your pug more than a couple years ago, then we don't recommend the food that we would have recommended then, right, Lily? Lily. We switched several years ago to Pawtree. And the reason being, we had a pug that did get an ear infection. When we have issues like this, there is an amazing holistic vet in town in Birmingham. And she told us to avoid corn, soy, wheat, byproducts, some other things to look for, which I'll talk about in this video. And she recommended Pawtree. So that's why we switched to Pawtree. First look, it's really nutrient dense. If I could compare it, I actually have a cheap food here that the big dogs eat, the rescue. So I just want you to look at the difference in color. These are like air, and these are heavy, very fresh. The main thing is this food is really good for any dog with allergy sensitivities, which the pug breed in general tends to be. You have to be careful what you feed pugs. And this is the freeze-dried raw, which is different than they have the kibble, and there's no corn, no wheat, no soy, no artificial flavors, coloring, sugar, all that stuff. It's just a really good thing. And also it's limited ingredients you can choose. So if your dog had a sensitivity to chicken or beef or lamb or whatever, they have fish, they have everything. I also want to point out that because it's so nutrient dense, you're only going to use like a third, if that, of Pawtree versus Royal Canin or From or Purina or something else. We always top on kibble days. We never do just plain kibble. This is some turkey gizzards today. The last couple of days it was rehydrated freeze-dried raw that we topped it with, and a couple days before that it was beaver that was on sale at my pet carnivore. A few days before that was chicken. We really like the fine ground, whatever it is you're getting, turkey and such, and then the whole prey, so you get the bones and calcium. Because we change the proteins in the toppings like this regularly, they don't develop food allergies. Today for the topper, I also added a little bit of the freeze-dried Pawtree, freeze-dried raw, because the gizzards are just one organ and all. Raw has more enzymes. You can do cooked chicken or something, but you lose a whole lot of benefits. By the way, it's important that the raw food is frozen, so it kills some of the bacteria and such. You don't want to just, like, for example, take a piece of chicken you bought at Walmart and give it to them raw. It needs to be frozen first. Most important thing, though, we add a daily vitamin, and I prefer the powder. Jeff doesn't ever get his hands dirty, but it's just easier for me to do this than wash my hands. They have a tablet. Some people use the tablets, like little wafers, like a treat in the day, because dogs like them, but it's just easier for me to get the powder because it mixes up. And then I'm going to actually split this with 2 dogs. All right, so I don't use Origin From. I definitely don't do Purina or Science Diet or Royal Canin. But just because a lot of vets recommend Science Diet, I think really you just need to look at the ingredients for whatever you're going to buy. And let's talk about this. You want to avoid corn, soy, and wheat, right? Number 1 ingredient should be actual meat, not a meal, not a byproduct. You want to avoid poultry byproducts. You want to avoid pork, really, for a long term. So number 1 ingredient here on Science Diet is corn. 2 down the list is wheat. A couple more down the list is soybean oil. Here's Royal Canin is another common one people do. This is the weight loss one, management. Number 1 ingredient, powdered cellulose. And number 2 is a meal, not only a meal, but a byproduct meal. Number 3 is corn. Number 4 is wheat gluten. Number 5 is wheat. Then and more corn gluten meal. All right, I'm not even going to go down the list because this is really bad. Once you get beyond the first, 4 or 5 ingredients, you got what you're dealing with. I forgot this is an important part. I also give a squirt of fish oil. Fish oil is very good. And if you're having one that is having any allergies or ear infections, probiotic is essential. And the probiotic by Pawtree is also amazing. This is the probiotic. And if I could afford to add this to all my dogs as a supplement, I would. Just old, young alike. We also use it with our pregnant mamas. So I know some people don't want to fool with a topper like that. So you can get a little extra protein by just adding broth. Make your own broth, or the poultry broth is really nice with chicken and beef. We make our own broth to save money, but we have used this product and it was really good. We also love to get these superfood toppers and sprinkle it with something like this. Don't sprinkle it with cheese, it's too fattening. They have a lot of toppers, and the pugs really, really, really like these superfoods. Let's see, we got bison, beef. Gosh, that's small. How are we supposed to read that? Sweet potatoes, kale, pumpkin, cranberries, carrots, pomegranates, blueberries. Yeah, superfood stuff. But tons of different varieties. I haven't found one they don't like. And sometimes I don't know, I just want to treat them a little extra, so I'll sprinkle some of this on top of everything else we do as well. I know you guys are really trying to do the best for your dogs, and a lot of times the vets recommend, like the weight loss one of Royal Canin for pugs, and unfortunately that was what Winston was eating, who developed diabetes, and then of course the drugs. The vet recommended, not the owner, it wasn't her fault, but the vet, it was too much, too long that he was on it, and that's what caused the diabetes, according to the ER folks at Mississippi State. But let's look at the ingredients of poultry now. Okay, this is the kibble, and then we'll look at the freeze-dried raw. You want the first thing to be an actual meat we fed. This variety is duck. Number one ingredient, duck. Not duck meal, not byproduct, definitely not corn or cellulose. All right, turkey meal. Now, I said to avoid meal as the first ingredient. It's okay to add, and you can research about why that is good. Then we've got dried chickpeas. Everything's natural, right? There's nothing fake yet. Flaxseed, dried apples, dried blueberries, dried cranberries, pumpkin, spinach, parsley. All right, but number one ingredient, always you want actual meat, okay? Again, no poultry byproducts, no corn, no wheat, no soy, no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. Right now, let's look at the freeze-dried raw poultry. Oh, they have beef and they have chicken and turkey. This is the beef one. Number one ingredient, beef, then beef liver, beef heart, garbanzo beans, dried sweet potatoes, bone broth, kale, apples, blueberries, pumpkin, flaxseed, etc. You're not going to find any wheat or corn, split ingredients like that. No, we make a lot of our training treats because we have a lot of dogs, and so I just cook different meats. Rarely do I use cheese, but every now and then you're going to find a dog that only likes cheese, so that's for their high value treat when you're having a hard time training something hard. And I do string cheese, low fat, low sodium, but every one of their treats are healthy. The soft and chewy is easier for training. Most of their treats are just like this. So if it's chicken kale, that's all it is, chicken kale, but nothing bad, it's always healthy, and they like them. So these are actually bigger treats, they're about an inch or so, but I've already broken them up into smaller bites to make them go further. But look how easy they are to break. They're nice and soft, and they don't crumble. So these are great. I like the crunchy ones too. The dogs really like the freeze-dried ones that are like meatballs. But if you break them into a lot of smaller and smaller and smaller bites, they kind of crumble, which is nice for a topper, actually, if you don't want to do something like that. But again, we like to have some actual, like some kind of actual raw meat that's fresh to add to the top. And we add this to our seniors, but the really old ones, like Sebastian, that's down to 3 legs. He also gets pain med from the doctor once a day. So since some of you had mentioned you had dealt with ear infections, I wanted to share this with you. We've had amazing results. If you have a hardcore allergy, you're not able to figure out what it is that's causing it, then you should consider the Cytopoint shots. And also, I want to tell you that the paw tree ear solution is fabulous for just regular maintenance. It's a two-step process, and the second one dries like a powder, so it keeps the ears dry, which is the very important thing that you need to focus on. So if you have another dog in the household licking the ears or something like that, you got to try to separate them if it prevent that. Just wanted you to know, and I'll put a link where to order it. The only reason I am a pet pro with them is because it works so great for our dogs. So I highly recommend. Paw tree. Y'all say paw tree. Paw tree. Stella, Lily. What do we recommend? Okay.